And we're live. I am over here in the corner. Hold on, let me see myself. There we are. Yeah, I think I put the code in wrong for VR, so I'm gonna pop back in. But Lou, if you wanna take over for a second while I fix this, please go right ahead.
All right. Well, we'll start great Crypto Mondays. Annalise is in VR. Our guest speaker, Jean-Laurent, and I are just both kind of in Zoom. But welcome, and you're dialing in from France.
Yeah, hi to everyone.
Can you hear me?
Welcome from France. Yeah.
So, and you've been with Ledger now for a while. Why don't you just explain for the folks who might not know what Ledger is, what Ledger is?
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, I joined Ledger like 2 years ago, but Ledger is existing in the crypto ecosystem for a while now. So definitely the core function of Ledger is to provide security for critical assets. And I would say blockchain cryptocurrency is definitely one of the key components that you have to secure. And that's the target of Ledger for many years. And yeah, so basically we've been known worldwide because we just released a product, the Ledger Nano, Nano S and Nano X to the world retail product. And basically it's like a USB stick where you can safely store your crypto on it. So that's what made our success. So we've been lucky to master this technology and to spread it to the world. So that's how Ledger just grown over the past years, and so I joined 2 years ago as a product manager for third-party integration. So what does it mean? It's clearly that when we want to add some feature into our products, and we need to partners with some business companies out there in the crypto world. Then it comes to my job to find the best partners out of the ecosystem and to try to power for our users the best experience, and with no compromise on security, with still using the Ledger products and be able to access more and more feature to interact with the crypto world. So yeah, that's where my job comes, and happy to talk to you about many more topics today for this Crypto Monday.
Awesome. I'm super excited to hear more from you. I have a couple people here in VR with me. Hello, guys. Welcome. I am in VR, but my guests are virtual. They're on the screen. I hope you guys enjoy. Now, can you give me a little bit of background info for people who don't know about what Ledger is or what Ledger does, just general background information about Ledger and how Ledger contributes to the crypto community space?
Yeah, I would say the main expertise, the big backbone of Ledger is that we have some people that really master the microchip technology, secure microchip technology. So we were able to develop a little hardware device on top of which we built an operating system over a very secured microchip. So that's basically the core expertise that we have. And we were able to use, as a first use case of this secure microchip, is to secure very critical data, and definitely Bitcoin to begin with, and cryptocurrency in general are a very good example on what are the very critical data to secure, because that definitely represents money and valuable assets. And that's our value proposition, to say, okay, we master the hardware technology, and do not worry, if you store your funds on a ledger device, nothing can happen to you. Hopefully, nothing can happen to you. But so far, it's been true for many years. So that's definitely where Ledger come from. It's for mastering the hardware security, and then operating system, and then we built software layers on top of that to be able to interact safely with the crypto and give more and more services. So basically, we are growing into that direction. We start from the beginning, from the core DNA, which is hardware security, and then we build everything on top of it to ensure to everyone that if you use a Ledger product, it will be secured by design. Do not worry about it. But then we'll add more and more features. So we first had good success on the retail markets, and then we are also addressing the B2B market. So it's to share the same spirit and the same technology to the enterprise, to the basically to the business companies that wants to be exposed to crypto. So that's where we come from, and that's what we target as an expansion for Ledger.
Awesome. I actually have a Ledger Nano S. That was my first wallet when I got into crypto. So super excited to speak to you guys. But go ahead, Lou. What were you going to say? Lou?
No, that's cool that you've got a Ledger. That's
I do.
Yeah.
That was my first
Can
wallet.
you hear me, Annalise?
Yeah, I can hear
Okay,
you.
cool. Well, so you guys are in a unique place in terms of seeing what's going on across the crypto landscape. So what are you guys seeing?
Yeah, so you're completely true. We are in a unique place where basically whatever happened with the crypto, there will always be a need of security. So that's where we are very transversal. So it's not a matter to say, okay, if one crypto collapses or one new crypto goes to the roof or whatever, we are very agnostic in terms of purely like crypto analysis, a new blockchain, a new economics. So yeah, you're totally true that whatever happens, there is one thing that people will always need is definitely the security layer. And we want to share this message to say that, okay, Ledger will power security for every crypto that's, of course, drive a bit of traction, but that there is not even a question to be asked is, okay, I want to interact with this new crypto, I will use a Ledger, and then I will interact with my crypto. So that's indeed what is our unique position, is that we have a business model and a market positioning that is crypto agnostic. And yeah, that could definitely relevant whatever the situation is. Security is something you cannot make any compromise on, and that's where we stand, definitely.
Lou was,
Cool.
I'm sorry, I didn't know if you were going to continue to ask a question or not. I think we might have an audio delay.
I mean, if you have something to ask, I mean, I've got lots of things.
Okay, so I guess the first thing, what is a digital asset? And can you walk me through generally how Ledger would work to store these assets? Because I know there's two methods. You guys, Ledger does generally, cold storage. I guess explain cold storage a little bit, because there is a lot of newer faces that we are speaking to.
Yeah, no, that's great.
That's great.
Great question. So, digital asset is, I would say, is a very wide terms. It's basically anything that can be digitalized. So one of the key examples that we know today, and the people that are watching us know today, is basically cryptocurrency are a good example of digital assets that can represent basically some money. But some cryptocurrency do not represent only money. Some of them represent some real life goods, such as, I don't know, housing or whatever. It could be some art. It could be basically anything that you could represent physically can be seen as a crypto assets or a digital assets. So something that is digital, even if it's very wide as a wording. But that's definitely the idea. And when it comes to be digital, as you may know, everything digital is always under a threat. So if it represents something that has a high value, so it can be like Bitcoin, but it can be also a fraction of a house, a fraction of a company, a fraction of whatever, a piece of art that can really have some good value. Then that's definitely the point of the digital asset and why it matters to be able to proper manage them. So so then when you talk about cold storage, that's a vision. We try to leverage the fact that being cold storage has a strong definition to say nothing can happen with it. It's like it's cold, meaning like it doesn't move, and because it's cold and it doesn't move, then you have less surfaces of attack. You have less way to attack it.
Right.
But there is also another way to see it. It's just to not to be so focused on the fact of is it cold, is it hot, is it warm? That's something that is less tangible. But as long as you can interact very quickly and seamlessly with your asset, you can consider even being a warm solution. So we could, for example, consider that Ledger Nano seen as a warm solution. If you can really quickly interact with the asset you have, you don't necessarily need to store your Ledger Nano into a personal vault or in a bank. It's not in that way that it's designed. It's definitely designed to be used on a daily basis without wondering if you can show to someone your Nano or if you have to hide it. That definitely not the point. We are more here to say, okay, use it on a daily basis. There is no problem, and it will be very mainstream. You will access your crypto at any time, at any point, and we are here to help it to happen. So yeah, that's a bit the way we envision it. And either it's Bitcoin or any other form of digital asset, Ledger will be here to support that.
Very interesting. Yeah, now I have some partnerships. We were talking about Uphold recently, and last week we were talking to Agriland. Could you explain to me like how you guys update I guess partners with these companies to help them store these currencies?
So you were mentioning Uphold and Algorand, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So for Uphold, it's more indicated on our B2B solution. So many of you surely know our B2C solution, which is the Ledger Nano devices. But we also have a B2B solution, which is from a purely technological perspective, very similar in the way we secure the asset than the Ledger Nano. But it's designed to be used by enterprise, by companies such as Uphold. When there is a significant of crypto assets to secure, then you cannot do it with an in-house solution if you don't have the expertise. It's very hard to do it with only Ledger Nano, which was not really designed to secure the asset of a big company. So we developed what we call the Ledger Vault. And with the Ledger Vault, basically you can add some governance layer on top of the security, which means that internally in your company, you can say to everyone, okay, if you want to do a transaction, you need to get an approval of this number of people, or you cannot make a transaction higher than $2,000 equivalent, or basically you can set up all your rules, all your internal rules, all your governance rules to ensure that you comply with this framework that you can define and that is very flexible. So that's what we did with Uphold, and they, I guess, are really enjoying this product because it's very flexible. It's designed as a SaaS, or a software as a service, with a personal security device you have with you. So it's definitely the way to bring ease of use for the companies that wants to get really high level of rules of governance to secure their funds. So I'd say that's the B2B part to answer your question for Uphold. And then, you mentioned Algorand, which is a very recent integration that we did on the B2C side. So on the B2C side, we have indeed this Ledger Nano product that can be leveraged with the Ledger Live, which is a software wallet that can be used with the Ledger Nano. And on this software wallet, we recently integrated Algorand. So this is I would say quite recent crypto that has a lot of potential, and that is, on our opinion, truly, really driving a lot of traction, very, very interesting in the future. So we integrate that natively in the Ledger Live, which means that you can use all the key feature of the Algorand blockchain directly with your Nano on the Ledger Live interface. So you can send and receive, you can see your portfolio, you can see your history of your transaction. You can also earn the reward that the Algorand protocol is granting to you. So we have been working very closely with the Algorand Foundation. We are very, very professional. And we have been released this project a few weeks ago, and we see a very good traction around it on the Ledger Live. So that's basically another thing that we do, is to support new crypto on our software wallets and to be able to offer it to our users for a seamless experience. So that's
awesome. That's really interesting to know, because I know a lot of I never knew Ledger had a B2B side. I always knew they had, Ledger Nano S, they helped with asset storage, things like that. But I didn't know you guys had also a business portion that you did with companies, which is awesome. You've grown so much. Lou, do you want to go ahead? I'm hogging up all this guy's time.
So what should we be looking out for next year? Do you think that's going to be, the kind of the next, hot thing that digital wallets are used for? NFTs?
Yeah, that's a big question. Having crypto is moving so fast that having a vision for 1 year or 2 years is very hard. So it's one thing that is very key at Ledger is to keep flexible and agile. So depending on the trend, depending on what's happening, we need to stay agile to see what's going on. So for next year, it's I would say NFT could be one thing. Definitely, that's something we are having a very close look to see where it moves and how it's what it becomes. But otherwise, we believe that, for example, anything around decentralized finance could be definitely something that will evolve a lot, and that has a lot of traction. And when you see the growth of DeFi products in the crypto ecosystem, there is something really happening that's having a huge interest for many people. So I would say my bet, if I had to place my bet for next year or the year after, I would say that DeFi and tokenization of assets will be very key things. And when we talk about DeFi, we also have to talk about Ethereum 2, version 2 of Ethereum. That will be also one of the key elements of the next year or also the year after. So definitely very exciting stuff to come, where Ledger will keep a very big eye and close eye to see what we can do and what we can offer to our users with the security that we can provide.
So I want to mention something real quick, because you're talking about NFTs. Yesterday, I saw an article saying that PewDiePie, which is basically one of the biggest gamers in the world, joined a blockchain AR game platform. So I'm seeing more mainstream big names join, this movement. So I definitely think NFTs are probably where it's at, especially, NFTs has been booming in art. And now potentially in games, because we're seeing like these major players, these major streamers that make millions of dollars a year joining these platforms. So I'm actually really excited for that. So I do think, Ledger should pay very close attention to the NFT space.
No, definitely. We have a place whenever there is a critical asset to secure. So if NFTs represent something, that is a key component for anyone, then we definitely have a place. And the good thing is that also, given the open source mindset, everyone basically can develop on top of our Ledger Nano device. So I would say the Ledger coverage of security can grow as fast as the community grows. So that's also one of the key components, is that it can definitely be very agile and flexible depending on people that are willing to interact with it. So we will definitely maintain that, and NFT is a very great thing to keep an eye on. Definitely, yeah.
Awesome, Lou.
What's the most used thing that's been built on top of Ledger?
Oh, that's a great question. I would say on the B2C side, yeah, when we say we build on top of the Ledger Nano, we always mention the Ledger Live, which is the software that comes with the Ledger Nano. But basically, one of the biggest things that has been built is that the very wide integration of the Ledger Nano into a lot of wallets existing in the world. So basically, today, if you want to launch your own wallet, you can easily integrate your Ledger Nano. So I would say the biggest thing that happened with the Ledger Nano devices is the fact that it's very, very widely integrated. And whenever you have some assets stored in your Ledger Nano, basically you can connect to a lot of wallets. So that's, I would say, the biggest achievement is this interoperability, interconnectivity with many, many, many wallets. And when it comes to, I would say, our software wallets developed in-house, which is the Ledger Live. We recently add more and more feature into the Ledger Live to interact with your crypto, but also to buy some crypto, to swap some crypto. So those are some features that are gaining also a lot of traction and that giving more and more interest over the Ledger Live. And we are trying to address as many people as possible with this kind of features. So I would say it can be seen as a whole. So the more feature we add, the more people are using it, and it becomes something really big also. So yeah, we are trying to keep investing. I mean, to keep making efforts in that direction for the future.
Can you give me some insight on importance with security? Because I found something out interesting the other day, especially about mobile app wallets, where I think a guy, his website is like scrutinywallet.com, but he basically reverse engineered almost 200 app wallets, that you download from the Android store, and he said like 6 of them were basically okay. So I know Ledger, like you said, it's offline, it's cold storage, it's a little different. It's a little device you can actually physically carry with you. So it's not as high risk as having a mobile app wallet. Can you talk a little bit about security with Ledger and the importance of security when it comes to cryptocurrency?
Yeah, actually, when you interact with crypto, there is only one question that you need to ask yourself is who owns the private key? So private key basically is the only elements that can grant you access to a coin, a crypto. So whoever owns the private key really owns the crypto. So when you interact with crypto, it's the only question that you have to ask yourself. So for example, when you use, I would say, a standard wallet application that do not leverage any hardware wallet product, it means that they store the crypto, the private key somewhere. Either they store it on their side. So basically, it's the companies that built the wallets that store it on their side. So they are custodial of your funds. So basically, you trust the company not to lose the private key or not to block the access to the private key. So you have to trust it. So that could be problematic because if there is a significant amount of money, then the company can just go with it and you will never see money again. On the other hand, you have another possibility, which is close to what you mentioned, is that the private key itself can be also stored in your physical device, like in your mobile or in your laptop. So now it's a bit better because the company itself doesn't have access to it, but still on your mobile, on your laptop, you are not very sure about the level of security and the fact that that private key can be easily reached by a hacker or not. So you have a level of doubt, a level of uncertainty. So then where Ledger comes to say, okay, you do not need to trust anyone or you do not need to trust your mobile. You only have to manage properly your Ledger device.
Right.
And say, okay, I do not need to trust anything that is online. I will only trust my Ledger device. And that basically, even if your mobile application is compromised, then whatever happened on the Ledger device will still be on your own control. So that's where Ledger comes to say, okay, stop trusting any third party, stop trusting your mobile manufacturer, just use the Ledger Nano devices to secure, and you don't even need to bother about anything else. So that's where we come.
Yeah, I would say,
and I think that's,
say a lot of people find value in
that is so important.
Go ahead, Lou.
No, I was just saying that that I think is so important because Annalise, I forget if we've talked about. I've been sim swapped 15 times.
Wait,
So,
okay.
you know,
You told me you were a sim
like
but it
keeping your
wasn't
keys on
15
your
times.
phone,
That's
obviously.
crazy.
Sorry, can you repeat?
Yeah. So
No,
you can't
I was
trust the phone
saying,
companies.
yeah, I was
No.
saying I knew you were a sim swap, but 15 times is insane.
Yeah, that's very, very high. Yeah, indeed.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. So I don't have a great connection, unfortunately, but this has been great. You guys can continue on. Super excited for what Legend does. You guys have been legendary for the whole time that I've been in this space. So it was a great meeting you, Jean, and I'll see you next week, everybody. Crypto Monday.
Lou needs to.
Okay.
I don't know where Lou has been. My banner's a little off. I'm going to take it down. But Lou's been traveling lately, and he's been just back and forth, not all over the country, but multiple places. So his connection's been a little off, but it's okay. I'm glad he got to join us for a little bit of time at least. Let's do show names. Perfect. So anyways, where were we? I wanted to ask you, Lou already asked you about things for the future, but what can we expect? Is there anything like that Ledger is releasing anytime soon? Anything exciting that we can expect to see from the company? Any new devices? I know there was that little blue ledger that was released. I didn't get it because I have my ledger, but maybe I should. Anything that we can expect product-wise for consumers?
Yeah, definitely. There is no doubt that we are working on many topics internally on very great things to release and a lot of exciting projects. So, of course, unfortunately, there is some of them that I can't disclose tonight.
Oh no, it's a secret, it's top secret. It's a surprise.
Yeah. Sometimes we are sometimes we're a lot about privacy and secret, and to keep the keep the uncertainty and to say okay.
Right.
Prepare for big announcement, but no, there is some elements that you can definitely expect more on the, I would say, on the retail side, on the B2C side, on the Ledger Live software that we are going to add in the next few weeks some key features that are highly weighted for the community. So I would recommend to definitely keep a very close eye into what will happen in November and December, because end of 2020 for the Ledger Live will be clearly very great milestones will be achieved, and we'll have a very interesting features to come up. So that will come into like a complement of what is already existing today, and then the objective that we set up ourselves is to say that okay, by the end of 2020, as a user, if you connect to the Ledger Live, you can basically interact with many features. And I think we are very close to it, and definitely we will make big announcements otherwise. So that's a good thing to keep an eye on for the next few weeks.
Awesome. So I've always kind of asked myself this question to see where a company is going and like how big they are and how they're going to scale. How big would you say Ledger is as a company?
I would say as a crypto company, I believe that we are big. I mean, in terms of resources that we have, in terms of people, in terms of skills, in terms of I would say geographical presence and brand awareness, we believe that we are big, and we have a big community of Ledger users. So we recently saw like a bit more than 2 million devices across the world. So that's also a very huge milestone on more than 160 countries. So we believe that on that perspective, we are big, but definitely as a company, we still are little. I mean, it's crypto world, so it's a bit little compared to other topics on the other mainstream topics on the world. But as a company, we are still growing. We are what we call a scale up. So basically, we're here to grow and to grow. But yeah, still we are, I'd say, around 200 people. That's still something that is very little compared to what we could see from other very big companies. But still, in the crypto world, we believe that we have a very good community, a very good ecosystem, and we try to maintain that and to try to empower it in the future.
Awesome. So actually, somebody messaged me a question in VR. They want to know if someone is I guess, beginning consumer, what would be the best product option for them to get onboarded with Ledger?
Actually, if you are a beginner, we would recommend to, and you want to start to invest in crypto. Basically, we would recommend to first start with some mainstream assets. So maybe not to try to build a portfolio with 10 different crypto, but to try to start with very few of them. Of course, Bitcoin Ethers could be the main go-to crypto that you can choose. And for beginners, we can definitely recommend our Ledger Nano S product, which is the one that we sold a lot, that is working very well and that we keep on maintaining for a very long time. So definitely Ledger Nano S is a good call for a beginner. But once you get a bit more used to crypto and that you want to diversify your portfolio, making a bit more of trading, to just try to manage it on the go with your mobile, to try to have more traction with your crypto, then you can slowly think about to buy a Ledger Nano X as a complement to the Ledger Nano S. So you can keep your Ledger Nano S as a backup and then use your Ledger Nano X as a day-to-day usage to manage your crypto, to swap them, to purchase new crypto, to see your portfolio. So basically to do all the standard interaction, you can do it with your Ledger Nano X. You can plug it to your mobile with the Bluetooth. So it's definitely a good way to go when you start to be a bit more knowledgeable about crypto. So yeah, that's what I would recommend. First, Ledger Nano S, and when you become a bit more at ease with the use of our product and with the crypto ecosystem, then you can switch to the Ledger Nano X.
Awesome. I hope that answered your question, guys. A little more on that, because I remember I was reading a tweet the other day of a friend of mine. She was telling people to write down, their seed phrases, because her Trezor wallet got wiped. And there's a lot of other, there's KeepKey, there's other, physical cold storage wallets that are out there. I guess on a consumer, not consumer, but out of the wallets that you guys have, is it often or common that any of the wallets get wiped? It's tech happens. We have computers, things fail. But what's the, I guess, fail percentage when it comes to Ledger technology?
Yeah, that's very hard to know. Actually, indeed, that's the hardware, and that's the IT field. So
right.
Everyone that is building hardware and that is building software on top of it would always face some issue, some kind of random technical issue because of IT and because of hardware. So that's for sure will happen for whoever, Ledger or any of other people that are building hardware wallets. It will happen. We try to make it more and more resilient, more and more robust to avoid this kind of thing, but we cannot avoid it 100%. So that's surely, that's an inherent problem of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like the same as your laptop today can just die without no reason. So
exactly. It's tech.
Yeah, it's tech, and that's also what makes it exciting, in my opinion. But well, as long as you keep what we call the recovery, so your 24 recovery words in a safe or in a secret place that you know where it is and that you can access. Even if your device gets wiped because you get bad luck at this time or whatever, you're still 100% safe if you know where are your 24 recovery words. You can just set up a new device and just start to work again, just like previously. So it's really bad luck to have a device getting wiped, but no big worry, because if you still have your recovery phrase, you are safe in a way. So not a big deal. It's a bit of a problem. There is friction to do that, I know, but you're safe. It's a matter of safety. You're definitely safe.
Awesome. That's good to know, because a lot of people, once they get their wallets wiped, they do think that it's, gone forever. But it's also important to remind people you do need to write down these words, because, if something like that happens,
yeah,
So Recently, I'm sure you've heard that a lot of mainstream companies like PayPal and Microstrategies have been getting into the cryptocurrency space. I guess where do you see this impacting cryptocurrency, and where do you see us going forward, even with central banks getting into the game?
Mm. Yeah, no, that's something, a very interesting trend, I would say, that we see very recently. So, as you mentioned, MicroStrategy need to invest massively into crypto, into Bitcoin.
Mm-hmm.
And then PayPal starting to offer to the users an exposure to the crypto and to be able to interact with some crypto. So that's definitely a very, very good and positive signal for the crypto ecosystem itself, is that there are some very big companies that do see the interest that the users have over the crypto. So it's definitely very positive, and we know it will be step by step. I mean, it's not a big bump for a while to just offer exposure to Bitcoin, but you could not withdraw your Bitcoin to any other wallet. So I would say it's a little step per little step, but it shows the big interest of those companies. And if those companies are doing that, it means that they identify from their users that there is a need, that there is a traction to offer this exposure. So it shows that this is slowly going to reach the masses, and that's definitely very positive for everyone. And of course, we are happy at Ledger to do that, because if the masses are interesting, then security will become a key. So it's definitely very great to see that coming, and yeah, we're very exciting to see if other company will do the same, and where everything will go. But definitely, it's the first, I would say, the first stone of a very big building, I would say. So that's very exciting to see it coming. Yeah.
Very interesting. So another thing I kind of just want to ask, because I'm super, into VR and all these other things, and something people have asked me is, how can I donate to you through VR or use NFTs in VR? Do you ever see, I guess, any companies or even cryptocurrency going into the mixed reality world space?
Oh,
Yeah, loaded question. Sorry.
yeah, no, out of my knowledge, I didn't see that. But sometimes when we just want to joke or to relax on leisure, we say, okay, that could be very great to put some VR glasses in our eyes and to just interact with the blockchain on a seamless way. So that could be
Right.
something crazy. But no,
It's
yeah,
a crazy concept, but it's something that so many people ask me about, and I'm sitting here looking at people in the room walk around, and it just kind of came to me, and I was just like, well, let me ask him, see what he thinks.
Yeah, no, that's definitely that could be something really, really, really great, and yeah, there could be a trend around it. So why not? I would say definitely why not, especially when it comes to video games and yeah, the NFT topics that we discussed previously. That could be of interest to try to find something around that. So yeah, because VR is just becoming a lot of more traction, especially with unfortunately the lockdown, with the situation that is happening worldwide, or people are more and more used to work from home and stay at home. Having a VR is definitely a good way to escape and to find a new way to interact with a system. So yeah, that's really great to see it moving also.
Right. So where can people find you? Where can they contact you if they have any questions?
Definitely, you can reach out to me in Telegram if you want to. I stay available on Telegram, so I'm at JGLAIZOT. Otherwise, I stay available on LinkedIn. You can easily find me as working at Ledger. So yeah, I'm very open. So anyone want to contact me, I can definitely stay open on many of those two platforms. And then we can arrange easily some calls or some email chats or whatever. So yeah, basically that could be the good way to reach out to me.
And then lastly, this is kind of a random question, but do you have any hidden talents?
If I have hidden talents,
Yeah.
that's a great question. Wow, I don't know. I have a hidden talent, is that when I think that a new altcoin that is coming out of nowhere will pump, trust me, it will dump. So that's one of my hidden talents. Man, don't trust me, do the opposite of what I do as a trader.
Okay, I'll keep that one in mind. If I see you post anything anywhere, I'll be like, all right, let me pay attention to what this guy is saying. That's kind of funny.
Exactly. Do the opposite, definitely.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna pay attention to what you're saying, so I'll do the opposite. Anyways, I want to thank you so much for joining with me today. We've been on air for about 40 minutes. I think people in VR enjoyed your conversation. I see him kind of walking around here. But I want to thank you for joining me. Guys, again, you guys can find him on Telegram if you guys are interested in the Ledger Nano wallet for your asset storage. You guys can go to Ledger. Is it ledger.com?
Yeah, definitely. Ledger.com is the right place to go. Yeah,
ledger.com. That's going to be your best bet. And honestly, inform yourself about the different types of wallets, because there's wallets on your phone, but there's wallets that go offline and are completely secure. So I think it's really important to educate yourself about that.
Yeah, definitely. That would be really great. Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining me today, Jean.
Thank you. Thanks for the invite.